Hello, my name is Tiara Bentley. Today is July 17th, 2017, and I'm recording a video for my next competency called Stressing Me Out, which is a good competency for me to work on right now because there are a lot of pressures, daily pressures in establishing a home life balance with work and raising two teenage daughters. So here goes. So defining stress to me is basically a state of mind. It's basically dealing with anxieties and stress and tension and emotions of things that can happen throughout the day, compounding all of those emotions into one, and then making sure that you can cope throughout the day with the pressures of work, home, raising kids, and then also dealing with your own personal self. So I want to define what optimism is. Optimism is basically having a positive outcome on life, trying to be using words of affirmation that are positive to you, that reflect good things so that you receive good things back. Self efficacy is also to define that is basically being able to overcome and achieve success out of stressful situations. Hardiness is basically being hard on yourself and enduring rough situations. We all encounter those. Some of the impacts of stress are are handled differently. People handle stress in various different ways. Some give us long-term effects on our health. Some of those health risks would be high blood pressure, heart disease, obesity from eating, even diabetes, fatigue, chest pain, headaches, tension. Stress can also change your mood. Some people have sleepless nights where you are up late at night, unable to sleep. Some people deal with stress by eating large amounts of food, which, leads to obesity. Some people choose to have alcohol to cope with tension, to cope with stress. Alcohol clears your mind, gives you a good night's sleep, and you don't have to deal with it till later. Some people deal with stress by crying a lot, lots of sadness. Stress also has impacts on your behavior. You can have large or angry outbursts. Sometimes they may lead up to fights with your friends and family members, people that you truly love and you really don't mean to fight. Drug and alcohol substance abuse, as I mentioned before, you know, people deal with that because it makes them forget the pain that they're dealing with. Social withdrawals. A lot of people withdraw from their friends and family and become where they only want to be in the house by themselves dealing with it, or they're afraid to talk to others about things that they may be dealing with. Um, if stress becomes unmanageable and you're unable to sleep, or you have the drinking or the eating problem, or you want to withdraw yourself from your friends and family, my recommendation is to see a therapist to bridge the gap of, of what is actually oppressing you. And maybe you want to bring some friends and family into the mix in general so that you can help talk through some of the issues and work through them. As I mentioned earlier in the video, home work-life balance is also stressful. A good way to handle stress is to exercise. Get out, do things that you enjoy. Bring your family around. Bring special people around. Spend time talking with your significant other. And actually just letting go of some things. Maybe a nice walk in the park. Maybe your favorite meal in moderation. Maybe even a glass of wine in moderation. If you love to spend time with your children and that what makes you happy, because that definitely makes me happy, that's what I do. Spend time with my kids. They have me laughing. They take my mind off a lot of things. People just deal with stress differently. I know that at work sometimes when you get overwhelmed because you have meetings, you have deadlines, you have deliverables that you have to meet, there are opportunities for you to just step away from your desk. Take a walk. Instead of working, 9, 10, 12 hours a day, make sure that you take that lunch break in between time, and have that time to detox, refresh, and come back into work. Make sure you take that 15-minute lunch break. Make sure that you're building relationships at work, with your coworkers. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything personal, but just a friendly conversation with a coworker so that you can have a nice balance, a pleasant place that you always want to go to work to. And it takes the pressure off. It builds teamwork so that, when you're having tough times meeting those deliverables, maybe someone on your team will be willing to assist because, you've been that person that they were able to talk to. So, this is the end of my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for your time.
All right, so hi, this is a continuation on to the project that I was working on for Stressing Me Out. So as I continue, I needed to discuss one successful and one unsuccessful psychological time. So I will definitely use my school experience with College for America. I would say that this has been one of the most stressful and sometimes unstressful situations that I've had to deal with. So there was an example. I'll use an example of a time where I was up against a deadline and had to meet my course assessments and ensuring that I had enough competencies completed near the quarter. So obviously I crammed, trying to get things done at the last minute. I had two children that graduated. One graduated from high school, one graduated from college, which kind of contributed to my stress and anxiety because it was all around the same time, and I really did not take the time out to plan that properly with how to balance that with my school. And I think the issue that presents itself is with me making sure that I was getting everything taken care of for my son that was graduating from college, along with my daughter that was graduating from high school. I put myself on the back burner. And when it came time to notice that I needed to get the competencies completed before the semester or before the term ended, I realized that I put myself in a crunch. So, needless to say, I crammed really, really hard. I went on and took some of the tutoring lessons and did what I had to do early morning, late nights, trying to get things done. Although it was very stressful, which could have been very unsuccessful, it ended up turning out to be successful because I was able to complete and master the adequate amount of competencies before the term ended. Thank you.